Hi YouTube, this is We All Juggle Knives. Welcome to my review of the Schrade SCHF59. As you saw there, full tang, G10 handle scales with a very grippy texture, kind of similar to Top's Rocky Mountain tread pattern. The blade length on this is listed as 3.83 inches. Alright, so just under 4 inches. It has a saber grind, as you can see from that primary bevel. It's got a swedge. Saber grind? Are you even allowed to use a saber in bushcraft? Yes, you are, you know. Scandi is quite popular, but saber grind has its uses. Alright, the sheath on this is a synthetic material. You see a lot of eyelets. Right, the rigid belt loop. It locks in securely. It also comes with that ferro rod and striker. You can remove that ferro rod holder if you want to. A lot of people choose to use their own ferro rod, a lot larger ones, but the sheath holds it very securely. It locks it in. Now there I'm just showing you that the ferro rod and striker actually can work to produce sparks. Now I'm not actually trying to start a fire because everything is incredibly wet and snowy and icy, and I would probably just use a lighter on a day like that. Alright, some usage footage. Just making some shavings with the factory edge. And you see those two knives off to the side. I made a lot of shavings. This was like the fourth knife that I was testing on that same day. And honestly, by this time in the day, I was really sick of making shavings. Like, wait till you see how many shavings that I made. I have like a giant pile of them. But as I've said before, if you really want to fire, you want to make shavings in a dry place. You see my little outdoor table. I call it a table. It's just a piece of a dead tree, but it's all wet and soggy. So yeah, that's your pro tip. Make shavings in a drier place if you actually need to use them, but I did want to show that you can make them. The steel on this is 65 MN. That's actually a steel I'm quite familiar with. It's a mid-carbon steel. It's the same steel that Kershaw uses in its Camp series, and it's also the same steel that CRKT has used in its Parange machete and in another one of its machetes. Alright, so I'm quite familiar with it. It's basically just a mid-carbon steel. Yeah, so this knife, the saber grind, is a strong grind. This knife obviously has a lot of competition from, 20 different models of Mora knife. But, this being a true full tang, fairly wide tang too, it's definitely has stronger construction than most of your Moras. This just, the bushcraft field is like super crowded. But the price on this is only $30 on Amazon currently. I'll include the link. So $30 for very durable knife, mid-carbon steel with the G10 handle scales. Pretty nice sheath. Comes with the free ferro rod and striker. It's not bad. As I said, on the same day I tested a bunch of other knives. If you want something shorter, I would recommend that SCHF59. That's that short one off to the right. The one in the center, if you want a larger... Oh, well, there goes my graphics. Yeah. Anyway, I'll include the links to all of those, and you can watch the reviews and just decide for yourself. But this knife, final conclusions on it, the price is definitely right. $30. That's very reasonable. It's kind of a budget play. You could even call this a reaction against the trend, because the trend has been Scandi grind. But if you're sick of that for whatever reason, maybe you chipped one or rolled one or something, want something a little stronger that still won't break the bank, this is what you would want. Now obviously you could do a lot more with this knife aside from making shavings. But, shavings, that's just the new batoning. Since bushcraft has taken over the known universe, you're going to see people making shavings for the next 10 frickin' years on YouTube. Sorry. I don't make the trends, I just try to survive them. But aside from the bushcrafty stuff, it's a camp knife. You could stab something or someone if you really had to with this knife. You could cut up your lunch with it. You could skin something with it. You could cut cordage with it. You could put notches in wood with it. So yeah, it's a multi-purpose knife. Like I said, the price is right. I want to thank Schrade for sending this in to be tested and reviewed. I recommend this as a budget-friendly, general-purpose or multi-purpose medium-sized outdoor fixed blade, small to medium, especially if you're sick of Scandi grinds. Really, the biggest competition to this, aside from Mora's, is Schrade's other designs. Right, so I will include the Amazon links to a number of Schrade's top knives. All right, so please try to use those links. They do support the channel. I hope you enjoyed seeing this knife. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.